Welcome, soulful friends. Thank you so much for being here and sharing in this video experience with me. In this video, I'm going to talk about how we can quickly and effectively switch our body from a place of reaction or perhaps anxiety to more of a peaceful, calm, receptive state. For those of us that are on a spiritual path seeking connection with our highest selves, with spirit, or whatever term resonates with you, we need to be in the most receptive state that we can in order to receive the clear signals of communication, whether they be bodily or intuitively, audibly, whatever method of communication is your gift. Being in a receptive state will help facilitate clear communication that can be steady and more available to us as we need it. So unfortunately, our modern lives tend to put us in a state of reaction. And this can be very important for the modern lives that we live. We need to be able to react quickly. But when it comes to being able to tune in, tune up, tune down, and feel that intuition and those voices guiding us and moving through us, we have to be receptive to that. We can't always be reacting. So if meditation, breathing, chanting, whatever your tools are, suit you super well, that's perfect. But for the times when those practices aren't available to us or perhaps appropriate, it's great to have some other go-to methods of switching yourself from that reactive state to the receptive state so that you can continue living in alignment as you are seeking to do. If you were watching TV with your friends or family, maybe you're out for drinks or dinner with someone, maybe you're in your office or work or even in your car, having something quick, simple, and accessible in those times can be perhaps more effective than simply meditating, taking a deep breath, repeating affirmations. And you can certainly do some of these things in conjunction with the practices that you already do. So this is meant to just give you some insight into what my current favorite methods of resetting are. You take what works for you, play with it, adapt and change, and always remember that what works can change with the seasons, with the cycles that you're in. So be willing to listen and to change and adapt accordingly. So let's get into it. So one of my first favorite techniques, and I've been doing this one for years, of just centering and telling my body, hey, we're safe, we are calm, everything is great, is what's called heaven and earth. I picked up this stretch from a book by Donna Eden many moons ago, and as I said, it still serves me well. So normally I would do this standing, but for the purposes of this video I'm actually setting, but I can still show it to you. So what we're going to do is essentially be reaching in opposite directions as a way of bringing the body, the sides of the body, the layers of the body back into alignment so that things can flow as we need and want them to. So normally I'd be standing, feet planted into the earth. If that connection really resonates with you, then maybe spend a moment there if you can, just really connecting and grounding down. But you would ground down, bring your hands to center of your heart, Anjali Mudra as we call it in yoga. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press one palm down towards the earth and one palm up towards the sky. Inhale, bring them back to heart center. Exhale, opposite hand up, opposite hand down. So there's this dynamic stretch between your palms as you press one up and one down. Inhaling back to heart center, and you can repeat this as many times as you need to, synchronizing the breath with the hand movements, and see how that feels for you. The next one that I want to share with you is a method that I picked up from the incredible, the one and only Rebecca Campbell. Perhaps you know of her. If you don't, check her out, Google her, find her on social, something. She's a wealth of information. But many moons ago, I picked up this technique from her, and I love this because it's incredibly simple. People don't even know that I'm doing anything. I can be doing this on an airplane, and I have. It's very, very effective if you've traveled, especially if you've crossed time zones. It's a great way to bring yourself back. Maybe you're having a hectic day, maybe you're at the office and something occurs and you need to just step away for a second. You go to the restroom and you can easily do this. You can do this sitting at your office chair. I've done this when I am actually just sitting and watching TV with my husband or my family. So it's called finger pulsing, and you're just going to do it to each individual finger, but you'll start with one and you're just going to hold it with your opposite hand. I prefer to hold mine this way because I like to have the finger pads connect with the underside of my finger. And you're just going to gently hold. I'm not squeezing. This isn't a massage. I'm just gently holding, like this soothing swaddle for my finger. And I'm just gonna hold it there. I can let my hands come and rest wherever they want, into my lap, wherever feels good for you. And what you're doing here is you're just feeling for this moment where you can feel the really subtle pulse moving through that finger that you're holding. Now there is all kinds of science, modern as well as ancient, that talks about all the different movement of energy, of fluids through our fingers. Our fingertips, especially our pads, are incredibly sensitive, which is why I put my pads on the underside. They're incredibly sensitive. This is why we have fingernails, to protect that sensitivity. So holding them in this way, you're creating this connection of energy between left and right, between one hand and the other, remembering that our hands are extensions of our heart chakra. So a great way to just give some love and bring some energy. And as soon as you feel that very subtle pulse, and it might take a minute, it might be immediate, move on to the next finger. And you can do as many fingers as you need to. I mean, if you can do them all, that's fantastic. You're gonna feel really, really balanced and really just at ease. But if you only have time to do a couple of them before you have to jet off and do your next thing, at least you've given your body this moment of peace, and you've given your body this opportunity to move from a reactive, perhaps anxious or stressed state, into a more calm one. Anytime we can take even a split second to honor our physical body and where we're at, we are doing ourselves profound good. So just move through however quickly or slowly it works for you, and in whatever way and wherever it works for you. The next thing that I want to tell you also comes from Rebecca Campbell. She had a guest speaker doing a video. He's an Ayurveda practitioner. Ayurveda is one of my very favorite methodologies for honoring the body and all the different layers of it. And he was a facialist sharing how we can work with different points on our face. In Ayurveda, they call them marma points. We can use these different marma points for reducing anxiety, reducing stress, calming the nervous system, which is exactly what we need to do to get back to that state of receptivity. So the first point is actually right in the dimple of your chin. So right under the lip and that little crack there, that little crevice. I'm gonna scoot in a little bit closer. So I'm not pushing really hard. I'm just gentle pressure, and it doesn't matter which finger. This is the finger that I automatically used, so I'm going with it. Trust your instinct always. So it doesn't matter which finger for the purposes of this video. So I'm just holding this spot, and I'm gonna just breathe deeply. And if you're really working to relieve and to rid yourself of stress or anxiety, having an exhale that actually comes out of your mouth can be really beneficial for just detoxing and letting things go, just to throw that bit in there. Now you can massage in little circles here if you'd like, or you can just hold. The next one, the same concept, but we're going to come up to the nose. So right here, kind of where the nostril curves out, right above that, on both sides. Now, I'm not going to push in and inhibit my breathing or alter my voice, but rather I'm going to push towards my face, into the skeletal structure. Again, it's not hard. I'm not pressing deep. I'm just holding this spot, almost like what we did with finger pulsing, where it's a gentle hold so that you can feel the subtle movement and the flow of energy and blood and lymph and all those things. It's a subtle push. And just holding. You can move in circles, or you can simply press into your face very gently. Again, holding as long as you need to, or making this as quick as you need to. Breathing deep. Wonderful. The next Marma point that I want to share with you for resetting yourself into that receptive state is actually right around the third eye area. So actually, most of us, physiologically speaking, we have this really small, almost imperceptible indentation right in that third area. If you just kind of drag your finger down and really focus, you'll feel it. You'll feel just this really tiny little doop. That's where you want your finger to rest. Again, it doesn't matter which finger, but you're just going to hold this point. Gentle pressure, unless it does feel really good to you to really kind of push in there and maybe make some circles. You do what feels good for you. For me, for today, I'm just applying very, very, very little pressure, and it feels incredibly soothing and calming. So check in, see what feels good for you. And of course, don't forget to breathe. Last but certainly not least, we're going to use a method that brings them all together. It's a little bit of a facial massage that ties in these 3 Marma points that I just shared with you. So you can do this at any time during the day that you need to. Personally, for me, I tend to rub my face in this way when my face is naked, when I've taken off my makeup at the end of the day, or in the morning when I'm putting on my oil. I personally use coconut oil as a moisturizer. I have for almost 20 years now, and it serves me very well. So since my hands are oiled up and I'm putting oil on anyway, I just go for this quick little massage. But again, this is something that you could easily do sitting at your desk, sitting in your car at the stoplight, sitting watching TV, whenever you feel yourself edging towards that fight, flight, freeze, reactive state, and you need to bring yourself back to receptivity, calm, peaceful state. So before I show you, I want to share something with you, and it'll kind of bring it together why this is so effective. If you think about any time that you're feeling considerably stressed out, maybe you just received some bad news, some alarming news, one of the first things we do is go, oh my gosh, right? Oh, I've had such a crazy day. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. You notice we're constantly touching this forehead area. This is because, according to Ayurveda, as well as traditional Chinese medicine, and even actually just physiology, we have a lot going on right here. Now, we may not have big, thick muscles here like we do in other areas of our body that need manipulation or massage, but they do deserve some attention, especially when we want to be soothed or be comforted. And that's why we instinctively do this when we're tired, stressed, whatever it might be. So using this method I'm about to show you, so simple, is a great way of getting those areas addressed, honoring them, touching them before you go, and freak out. So basically we're going to incorporate everything. So we're going to start here. We're going to move up to those nose points. We're going to continue up the forehead to the crown, and then we're just going to spread across, come down the temples in front of the ears, even the jaw, and then you're going to kind of hit this point in the back of the jaw, and then just slide down the neck all the way to your collarbone, your clavicle, and then you can do it again. Up to the nose, up the forehead, across and down. And you can synchronize this with the breath just like the other techniques. So it's a nice big inhale, maybe a pause, exhale as you go across and down. Oh, I just love it. Even right now, it feels so fantastic doing that. Again, you can do it as many times as you want, or maybe it's just, in the morning or at night, maybe you're oiling up or moisturizing your face and it's just real quick. Whatever works for you. So those are my top favorites right now that I am employing to keep me or to bring me back to that receptive state so that I can have the sacred communication that I long for, that I'm searching for in this journey that I'm on. Play with them, like I said, see what feels good for you. Try circling, try just holding, try squeezing, try holding very gently. Make it your own. Listen to that voice that says, hey, push a little harder. Hey, make some circles. Listen to that, because that's what we're doing here, is facilitating connection and communication. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope this gives you some tools to add to your tool belt and that it serves you today and ongoing. Namaste.